Okay, so we are trying to improve the business 1 inch at a time. So we went to like a network of people that would be can use our services, like real estate agents, mm, property people. Um, Me and Heather just went. I needed them to like me, so I took Heather. um, so what are we trying to do? So we've tried all sorts of stuff. We've tried animations. Like in my head, I'm like, let's do something that will significantly make a massive difference in the business. We've tried animations, we've tried phone calls, we've tried hundreds of things to try to boost the company up. Google, you name it, Facebook, and nothing seems to be working. So in this moment, even though what I did today goes against my idea of let's do mass marketing and get huge amounts of business, um, this may still work, because what this was, it was like a network of people in the industry where they trust each other, they build a relationship and they trust each other. They're like, if I give you this referral, I know that you're going to make me look good because you're going to go out of your way to make sure this customer gets what they need. And it's just all about trust, between each other. I think that's what the advantage of this was. So we've gone there. They like us. They're willing to put us into their circle. So you, as the staff members, are now going to have to make sure we come through. Like, once we start getting these jobs in, it can't just be me. It can't be me talking to them, getting the call, calling the customer, making a friendship. They build that friendship. They like us, and then I have to call the customer, make sure the jobs, and call the subby, and organize a job. It can't be me. It has to be you guys, right? And it's not going to work where you guys are just behind the keyboard and just type on Google Chat. Everything's going to be all right. You have to, if the client contacts you and you email them and they need it done urgently, don't email them, call them. Hey, I just got your email. I know it's urgent. I'll sort it out. Give me the next 40 minutes to sort it out. Call the subcontractor. That subcontractor doesn't answer, call 15 others. None of them answer, call them all again, and you have to force things through. You have to, and then problems will happen. Subcontractors will make a mistake. Before they make a mistake, once they're on site, not just a little easy like hopefully they're okay, or email them. You have to call the subcontractor. Hey, did you clean your shoes before you walked into that that building, because that's one of the requirements? Did you take your ID, because it's one of the requirements? We've got to make sure we look and do all the things the clients want. You as a person in the office have to make sure forcefully, with all the powers that you have, to make sure it goes well, and really have no excuses that it didn't go well. So it's all up to the office, at the end of the, like, once we build something. So having one person like me do it, it's going to make sure it gets done well. But if we want to build a worldwide brand and become the go-to people and have these great systems and all this kind of stuff, you need to be that person. And no matter how many times I say it and how many different ways I say it, it doesn't seem to be happening. Everywhere, like every time I call someone, every call, every manager, no matter how good they are, every plumber, every sales plumber, every person that I ever talk to, I'm like, I talk to them. Finally, when I get around to talk to them, I'm like, how did you do this, or how did the process go? And I can see they didn't. There's some form of weakness where they didn't do what they could have done, and it's always something. You know what I mean? So you can't be like that and expect to get a result. Like, look how hard it is to just get leads right now, get enough customers. So this network is not only, we have to meet them every Wednesday, and that's a massive commitment just to get leads. I really don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to. You know what I mean? And then I have to promise them the world and make sure to have an entire massive organization set up to make sure their little need gets done. So it's really hard for me. It's hard for you as well. you've got your million things that you got to overcome. So it's just hard until the robots come over and take over our companies, and there's no more need for us to work. It's hard for everyone. Heather? Anything else I should talk about?
No, if we do sign up, there's like an initial cost that we have to pay to get this as well. So
Yeah.
if we do get these leads in, they need to be like a hot priority, like
Yes.
with the ultimate care.
Yeah, so if we're with these real estate agents, the ones we're building relationship with, like it has to go well. Look what happened to the ones that went bad. I forgot what they're called. Something King and Son. I forgot what the company was. Where we emailed them wrong and we did all these mistakes and it annoyed them and we lost them. So, we have. Again, I keep saying it. We have a company that they need. They need someone that's going to save their time. It doesn't take them 20 phone calls. You are doing the 20 phone calls to make sure that the landlord, the agent, and the tenant are sorted with no headaches and get the right plumber out there. That's your job. Real estate should not be chasing us. Landlords should not be chasing us. Clients should be not chasing us for quotes. Tenants should be kept in the loop. That's the only reason that you're there, to do that kind of stuff. And when you don't do that stuff, then why are you even here? I know it sounds really harsh, but that's the reality of it. Your value comes from being part of that process. I know you have other roles. Some of you guys are in legal, in debt collection, operations, and you have 15 different roles. That's to make sure that you're bringing in money regardless of what's happening. Yeah, I guess everything I'm saying, I'm just repeating myself, but I'm trying to say it in different ways so that it gets through. And so do keep in mind that these people out there, they need our services. They don't have tradesmen that are doing the work and saving their time and all this stuff, but we do. And doing it in the way that's correctly done. We've got the processes in place and the right
And the good
checks,
team.
and the good team, the checks and balances that we're like, is the code compliant? We've got all these checks in places that they don't have that intellectual knowledge that we do. No one does. So they need us, but they also want it done on time at a good price and all this kind of stuff. So even we have all this stuff, when we provide all these services, don't expect the world. They still want it at a really cheap price. They still want it, they're not going to thank you for it, because they don't realize how much effort is going into any business, and nor do you. For you to just have that, this phone in your hand, it's gone through millions of people's hands to make sure that that phone or that computer is working. Millions of people are involved. Yeah, anything else you can think of, Hal?
No.
What else? Eventually, as we expand and get better as a company, my goal is always like, all right, I'm gonna go do it. I've done what I've done today. If it works out, then I need other people to go and do what I do. So that's the struggle of any organization. How do you spread the workload in a way without dropping the quality and of work and
burning people out.
Yeah, and there's always secondary consequences to when you expand. Yeah, there's secondary consequences to everything, but when you expand, we've got to avoid the secondary consequences as much as possible. So that's about it. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, just make magic out there, guys. You know what I mean? Debt collection, those unorthodox ways that I have of collecting money. Legal, you got to think like a chess player. And I've done a lot of training and videos and stuff and go through all that stuff. Operations, you've seen more training than anybody in the world has seen, and I don't think there's anybody else in the world that can do it better than what I've taught you guys. Like in the whole world, I'm not sure if there's anybody better. Like 8 billion people, find me someone better that can do any of that better. Phone calls, best in the world, if I can say so. So, sales training, sales manager training, the list goes on. Your training is phenomenal because as soon as I do it myself, it just works. One after the other, one after the other. Getting reviews, marketing, SEO, team, you know, it's going terribly. We need to fix that. So I'm spending majority of my time on that. Take on these attitudes. You can see that when I have a problem, I just go and take it on myself and solve it. So you as a manager, as a leader, as an individual can do the same thing. You know? Majority of you guys I hired here, even though you know, contracting through platforms. So really you are a self-employed person. Like you yourself are a business. So treat yourself like a business, you know. So as a business improves its systems, its knowledge, its operations, history, you improve your systems, your thinking, your abilities, you know, because you yourself are the niche business. And that's where the world is going anyway, you know. It's only a matter of time where people won't be working in offices, people will be working through virtual reality goggles. It's only in the next few years now. Physical offices, unless you're manufacturing something or you're inventing something as a group, or you know, it's all going to be virtual. So you guys are already there, so take advantage of that, you know, but also don't abuse it. If there are people that are not performing, you know, we need to remove them straight away because we don't have the luxury to keep them around anymore. And that's about it.